Hello and welcome to all you Scorpios out there. This is your monthly horoscope for October of 2021. And for some Scorpios who have a birthday at the very end of October, happy birthday as well. So let's have a look at what the energies are all about. And Scorpio is a water sign, and it goes into the depths of the waters there. And whenever there is a lot of energy in a certain house that is also a water house, you kind of deal with that in a more understandable way. It's a bit more your cup of tea. And this is exactly what's happening in October, because a lot of energy is happening in your 12th house, which is the house of the unconscious. It's the house where we rest. It's the house of the unconscious. It's the house of, you could say also where we kind of hide ourselves to recuperate. It's the house of what we do in secret as well. So all these things are activated, and it's a lot of masculine energy that is there because of Mars, which is your ruler. It's your ancient ruler. Mars, although it is in a feminine side of Libra, it is trying to be very active in that house, together with Mercury as well. It's like the whole month, it's an emphasis on that 12th house. And it's super important because the Mercury retrograde, and it's going direct on the 19th, so you're going to have, you will see some results already of your hard work behind the scenes, that is on the 19th of the month, but even more when Mercury goes out of its shadow, which will be the first week of November. So that's the process, that's the duration of this process, and every Scorpio knows all about process timing as well, and how we cannot force these things. And so for a lot of you, this is a very deep month, and this is when I see Mars in the 12th house, a lot of people have difficulties with dealing with it, because it's a very visible thing. Mars, it's our ego. You could say that's visible for everyone, but now it's in a part of our chart that is not so visible for ourselves. Maybe easy to see for others, but not for ourselves. So, but as you are a Scorpio, which are people who kind of see a bit deeper than you could say the average person, and I don't mean to say that to offend others, but it's just the way it is. You know, Scorpios, they have laser beam eyes, and I mean, on a figurative level, they can see a bit deeper and a bit further than what other people see. So you have a huge opportunity to spot your blind spots through Scorpios. And are you going to be triggered? Of course you are, because you are going to be triggered by things that have to do with self-destructiveness, for instance. And I know that I can, talk to you from, I have my Venus in Scorpio, for instance, so from Scorpio to Scorpio, and I have my ruler in Scorpio as well. But anyway, they understand, Scorpios understand that people can be very self-destructive. It's easy to say, oh, you're self-destructive, you don't have to be that way. It's easy, right? When they never are like that. But when you have some Scorpio energy in you, you are going to be faced with that, so that you can overcome it, and that you become even stronger than you already are. Because, if you are born with Scorpio energy, it already shows that you will have to face your demons every once in a while. And this is, again, it sounds all very heavy, right? But for what is for one person a challenge can be easy peasy for another person. So it's very personal, it's very private, but it's also the 12th house is the house of undoing. It's the house of addictions as well. Whether it is smoking or drinking or sex or secret affairs or whatever, that everything that undermines the person's integrity. And you have an opportunity to face it, because Mars is doing all its work there. It wants it to make it conscious. It's whenever I see Mars in the 12th house, yes, it can be a meaning of and typically in Scorpio, it can mean battling your demons and being successful in that, right? So that when Mars will be in your sign, which is the next phase, right? That will be, let's just have a look when that will be, that you can, that there is a rebirth of, oh, that's definitely going to be a rebirth for you. And that will be for November time, when Mars will be in your sign. So very deep. So if you have some demons there, make sure that you're going to be triggered, whether from the unconscious, so from where you want to escape. And it's about thinking a lot about them, maybe even a bit in an obsessive way, because this Mercury is not only trining 3 times Jupiter, but also squaring up to Pluto 3 times, which is your modern ruler, Pluto. So this shows that you will get there through the process of Pluto, which is obsession and then the surrendering, and then comes the truth. So it's not the other way around. When we have these Plutonic things happening in our lives, and you know all about that, it's a process, and you cannot, that is that compulsive energy. That kind of it's almost like an addiction, right? That you're thinking about something way too much, but it's a process. You have to go through that so that you come up until the stage where you can't handle it anymore, and you have to let go of it. You can't otherwise, and because you do that surrendering, the relief comes and the liberation comes and the truth comes. There's something happening there for you that has to do with that. And I think it has to do a lot with, of course, depending on your personal chart, but that Pluto is in your 3rd house. So it's your mind. So your mind can be your worst enemy, and your mind can also be your best friend. So it depends on what you focus on. And be aware of the fact, dear Scorpios, that when you focus too much on the negative, just be aware of it. You might not be able to turn it around immediately, but just being aware of it is already half there, right? And then you can refocus it in the process that you are in. So don't kind of undermine yourself when you're not there yet. Respect your process. That's going to be so significant for people, especially those who have a Scorpio rising, but to a lesser extent, the sun in Scorpio, or the moon, or even a couple of other personal planets in Scorpio. But it's quite an interesting month. It has to do with mental power. It has to do with mental strength. But first, it can seem as if you don't have that anymore. As if you have to give up your mental aliveness, so to speak, before you can. So you have to surrender it, and then it can shift, and then it can transform. And yes, I think that this is needed now this month, so that in next month you can come with your new ideas and implement them. Not just come with your new ideas, but already implementing them during the month. So if you have new plans, dear Scorpios, that are important for you to do, because Mars is doing. This is the month to figuring it out, and how you're gonna do it. And sometimes being a bit secretive can be positive. It's not because it's the house of secrets that it's all gonna have to be negative. It can be like if you're preparing yourself, for instance, for a new job. It's more intelligent not to talk about that to where you are at the moment, working in a certain working place, but of course trying to do your best as you can, and doing things on the side that you can work on your new plan for the job. So it's not always it's not always necessarily negative when we talk about this secret houses, so to speak. It's not all hidden relationships. I mean, that's a bit of the drama, right? That this 12th house is. It could be as well. You know, Mars in the 12th house can be having sex, for instance, that you're not speaking of. But again, is that a you know, you can ask yourself, is that good or bad? But anyway, this is too deep, too philosophical. You can just be married and just go to a trip, a very, very far away countries, and they're just using that very passionate energy of yours to express yourself. But anyways, having said that, on that lovely note, on that, well, lovely, I mean, that very passionate note, let's end this video here because, oh, I'm going over the top already. But hey, I have an empathy for you, dear Scorpios there. I have my Venus there. So having said that, thank you so much for watching. Make the best out of it and see you next month. Bye-bye.